In this video, I'm going to talk you through the process of how you're going to choose the subjects that you'll be studying from Easter this year through to the end of Year 11. But before I talk about how you make those choices, let's reflect on a few key points to keep in mind while you're making these important choices. So here's some points to consider. Firstly, when you're making your choices, try and keep them broad and balanced. What I mean by that is don't choose subjects that are very similar to each other. Try and keep a broad range of different subjects from different areas so that you can keep your options open later in life. What you might have as an idea now for a future career might not be the same one you're thinking of in, say, 5 years' time. So the broader range of subjects that you study now, the more it opens things up for you in the future. Secondly, remember that good grades get your foot in the door, and obviously choosing subjects that you feel you're going to do well in is a good idea. But sometimes it's always good to have a subject that might develop other skills in you. Take, for example, drama. If you're someone who feels you need to develop your skills of standing up in front of a group of people, which might be a skill that you're going to need in your future career. Take every opportunity to discuss what you're thinking. So when you've got an idea of what your choices are, make sure you talk to the people around you, the people at home, your friends in school, your teachers, anyone you can think of who might be able to give you some good advice. Often it's good to talk to people that you feel are knowledgeable, but sometimes it's also good to talk to people that know you well and would have a good idea of what you might be good at and what perhaps might not be the best choices for you to make. And then finally, make use of all the support that you've got available to you. And one of the most important things there is remember your life lessons this term are all focused around the option choices you make and getting you to reflect on what's the best subjects for you to choose. So what can you choose? Well, everyone does these subjects. So everyone does GCSE English, Language and Literature, plus Maths, and then a combined science course. On top of that, you've also already started your health and fitness course in sport, and you also obviously continue with community time. But that leaves a big chunk of your timetable that you're choosing, and you've got 3 options that you can decide. Now, everyone has to choose one of these 4 subjects. So you have to choose either geography, history, French, or Spanish. You can choose more than one, but you must choose at least one. And then after that, you can choose any 2 others. So like I said, you could choose another one from the top list or any more at the bottom. And in total, if you remember, you have to choose 3. There is one other course that's available to some people, which is computer science. But it's important to remember that you'll have been told whether you can apply for this, and it's got very challenging maths content. So if you're thinking about it, think carefully about whether you feel you've got the maths skills in order to be able to do well in this course. And if you've got any questions, do please go and speak to Mr. Jones, who'll be happy to discuss it with you. So remember, if you need any information about your subjects, you can go to the options website, and it's got videos and lots of other information about all the subjects that you can choose from. And if you click on the information links, you get these sheets that you can look through for more detail. Plus there's some links there you can see to email the lead teacher for each subject. Once you've reviewed all that information, which you'll spend some time in your life lessons doing, you can then click on this link at the bottom and it will take you to the page where you can see how you're going to choose your options. On this page, you'll be able to access the survey that you can see here at the bottom that you're going to fill in with your choices. Remember, this won't be available until the date that it shows in red at the top, and you have to fill it in by the week after half term. But we'll remind you about all those dates nearer the time. So, what are your next steps? Firstly, make sure you've been through and read all the information on this website, and you've watched all the information from the subjects you're thinking of, and perhaps some of the other ones that you're not quite so sure about. Get advice from your teachers, parents, relatives, and anyone else you think you could trust for some quality advice, because you really want to make sure you're making the choices that you do for the right reasons. Use your life lessons to help you shortlist the subjects you're thinking of, and also to reflect. Make sure you don't make that mistake of picking a subject just because you think the teacher might be someone that you can get an easy ride from, or your friends are all choosing it, because it might be something that in 6 months' time you have a big regret about. From the dates shown here, you're going to be able to enter your choices on the website, as I was showing you in the previous slide. And then finally, check your choices and ensure you've got them completed by the date shown here. You'll get an email once you first submit your option choices with a link in it that you can click on to edit them. So if you change your mind at any point, you can go back and edit them, but you must have put your final submission in by this date, so we've got enough time to build the timetable ready for after Easter. Good luck with making your choices.